Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hello.
to our brand new endeavor in the Golden Theater. Because we have for you today the house in Fata Morgana.
So, question. Is the stream supposed to be seeing this menu because they can't wait? Nope, it was just delayed.
It's fine. In the future, I'm going to have to, wait until we're loaded in, because do you see that thing that says inspect your memories? That's the save load functionality. There's something on there that's a little bit of a spoiler, so I'm going to have to wait until, and in the future, it'll just load into the game.
I like to think that this, hand is just about to grab her and saying, now kiss, and then just start slamming her face into the other girl.
I like how this hand is semi-transparent. It looks like an eyeball hand.
Yeah, it's great.
A little bit.
Is that outfit made out of latex?
Belongs to a fluorescent shrimp.
I think it's supposed to be like satin or something.
Yeah,
fluorescent shrimp.
Okay, I don't know why that makes me fluorescent shrimp.
Play Ivasomnia Files. Oh my god! This track is going!
I sent you the track. It's the instrumental version of that other song. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah! Okay.
So, who here knows about Fata Morgana for the stream?
Me and Orange and Zaz and
Orange
Abyss.
has Abyss also. Yeah.
Abyss will be watching from the shadows. He will not be actively participating. That's right. I
Hi,
almost
Abyss in the
forgot to put
shadows.
up the tweet.
You forgot the tweet again?
Wait, did you?
No. I gotta put the tweet up on the announcements tab.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to look at Twitch chat. So if they're posting spoilers, I won't know because I'm not risking my ass.
Are you sure it's not Umineko again?
It's a very good.
It
tweet
is not
from us, thank you.
Umineko.
I will state that are we starting our pre.
So,
Preambles?
yeah, let's make this rather quick because we're already 12 minutes behind the schedule. What do you think this is about?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Spooky house with waifus.
Not lesbians.
Working at a mansion that they don't know the owner.
Alright, so...
You said the words gothic horror before, I feel like.
Maybe I
Something
did.
like that.
Well, I see a giant
Looks like
hand.
suspense.
It looks spooky. It doesn't look human.
Mhm.
It kind of looks a bit skeletal around the top, but I think that's just how the shading works.
Mhm.
This kind of looks like my hands.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. That looks like it turns skeletalized at the base of the hand.
Do you guys think that there'll be anything supernatural in this?
I feel
Maybe.
I feel like this is actually just some other sort of Victorian-esque, maybe dark romance story.
I feel like there's gonna be fake supernatural shit just because of the title. Like, there's gonna be somebody trying to fake supernatural stuff.
What does Fata Morgana mean, or is that a spoiler?
Fata
Fata
Morgana
Morgana,
is a
yeah.
type of mirage. It's basically a mirage you see on the ocean.
It is the mirage that is responsible for creating ghost ships.
I did not know that!
More like goats.
All right.
Stand after the character from Arthurian legend.
Alright.
So,
I wanted to share mine because
Go
I
ahead.
was going last so it wouldn't turn into a shit show. So I'm going to take a stab and I'm going to assume that this story has romance. The song is going real loud, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes.
We'll have romance and it will involve the romance being very emotional at the end. Or it will be about a meta-narrative guessing on Orange and B's tastes and everyone else's.
Oh wow.
Hey, I'm in as long as there's a horror element, so let's do this!
I hope you have those sound settings configured.
Sound settings could be configured, especially since this fucking music is blasting right now, so I had to turn this shit down. Yeah. So, I guess just one last thing for the audience at home. If you are just tuning into this, thank you so much for joining us for our next endeavor in the Golden Theater. I believe it's a 3 to 7 or 8 ratio on people who know to people who don't, so please keep your comments in the chat or on the comments in the YouTube very vague and careful, like a delicate flower might switch. All right, let's get this bitch started. Everybody shut up. Oh, here we go. Begin. Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, you read this?
Nem só chegar a esta casa, luz, você rodear, luz que eu gostei, mas você meu sol mais brilhante. Depois, blooming at lover, não faz medo nada. Escuridão sem sol. Como a pressão, mas vou esperar. Hoje vai chegar esta vez que você vem e bater esse
I was looking down at a corpse, my own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair at the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion. My soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me. And so, I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you. That I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers.
Master.
You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere.
Master.
And the sound of a crackling fire.
Wake up, Master.
Creak, creak, creak.
Wake up.
When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There's only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness.
Oh, splendid. You've finally awoken.
Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes.
Good morning, Master.
Good morning.
What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice. I've simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return, whenever that time may be. When I caught sight of you through the window, my heart flooded. The time had finally arrived.
You were perplexed. This woman, who looked like a maid, seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her.
What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you'd like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since we last met. Tell me, Master, what would you like? I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But I hope you'll be sympathetic, Master. I'm just utterly elated that I could see you again.
The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was a more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid. It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace, and the rose engravings on the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered the familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet.
Oh my, you do not know who I am. Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve?
The woman's face was pale, almost as though a faint chill ran down your spine.
You are the master of this house. Though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different than a stranger to me, no? Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I'm a servant of this mansion, and as such, I'm familiar with the many incidences that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, Master. And that will surely allow you to recall who you are.
The freshly awakened gears in your head began to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of this house. But without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. And with it aside, you reflexively nodded.
Let us be off, then. And fear not. I merely entreat you not let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand.
Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead throughout the halls. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovered within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There was no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded to the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door, the glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull gray. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side.
Though it is in a state you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. And at its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, Master.
The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows.
The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of these antiquated precepts, the people seemed to hark back to the more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took to these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history. But that is of no concern to us now. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of fervor for all those who were there. Now let us take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. See, there I am, standing around, looking rather a fool. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have not to be afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely if you would. That soft leading sound that could only be that of a young girl singing. Can you hear it?
La 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 la.
The girl you see cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care, and even had their thorns removed. So young Nellie wouldn't hurt herself naturally. A light brown haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses gathering as she sang. Her voice was like music played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful?
Sinking day and night, like a day. For your little pretty heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little birds. Even when the sun comes up. Oh, dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening?
Nellie was, as a matter of fact, not the only visitor to the Rose Garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I'm sure you're aware, in their time, books could not be yet mass-produced. What he was reading had to be copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over the years, was visibly worn, but I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at that time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced text.
Oh, dearest Mel, please.
Amazing, our first flub. You'd love to see it.
What?
Oh, dearest. It's fine. Oh, dearest Mel, please.
The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hand, she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, thrust her slender arms, and let the petals fall.
Ah!
Look, you're getting covered in roses, Mel.
Oh, Nettie. You got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty.
It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. Besides, two flowers won't get a book dirty.
I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit?
While waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited and I waited, and you so much as glanced at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book.
Wow, that soon.
That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast.
She may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me any longer when you become an adult.
It's not true. I'll still play with you, even when I'm grown up.
But grown-ups don't play, Nelly.
Fine, I'll stay a child forever then.
Didn't you just say you were about to grow up?
You're so mean, Mel.
I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whenever you want today. And whatever.
Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe.
Make believe?
Make-believe. I will be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. And then you turn into a prince when you rescue me.
A knight can become a prince? Impressive.
Technical difficulties.
Time period that this potentially takes place in.
1600.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Victorian.
They said the time period.
It literally goes first or 1603.
Oh, okay, I missed that then. Probably because I was
Yeah,
looking at notes.
They just said 1603.
Okay, I'm wrong then. Okay,
Terribly
ignore
sorry
everything I
for
said in
the
notes.
errors, everybody. I have no control over when this thing just decides to not work.
It is okay. I hope my fake British is alright.
Your fake British
I'm
is
like
fine.
I'm so nervous.
Also, fuck me
Okay,
for
don't
saying
worry,
that. Also, fuck me for saying that they didn't wear clothes like this in the 1600s. That was super cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are back. Never mind, we aren't back properly. It's phrasing again. This one just doesn't want to work. Hold on.
Boy.
Whoa, Nelly.
What?
Whoa, Nelly!
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Nice.
What even is this, Orange? Like, this is
Actually-
Doritos, but what's the thing in the background?
I actually don't know what the hell this one is.
It looks like a Frankenstein.
I thought it was something Street Fighter related.
Oh, for those who don't know, so this is the Switch version of the house in Fata Morgana. And since I had to fix my computer because it broke to shit a while ago, just certain... for some reason, my computer just hates my capture software now. So you just have to put up with this every so often. Deeply
Wait.
sorry.
What do you mean your computer broke to shit a while ago?
I don't feel like going into the details of it. Let's continue on with the story now.
Okay.
From the top on this line, please.
Oh, me?
No.
No.
Rindy.
Ah, it's back. Okay.
It can. Knight and princess both have to be charming, so of course it can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Nell. No one else can be my prince. all my night.
While he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed by his rose cheek sister proclaimed prattlingly, I am certain he was smiling on the inside. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair.
Alright then. You're my princess, Nelly.
I'm not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but yours alone. So, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay?
Nelly. Jeez, my princess is quite the fawner.
Beth? Does that make you dislike me?
Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nelly. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess.
I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever.
Her mood quite improved, Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug.
Oh, Nelly. Don't come crying to me if you trip her running like that.
But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it aside in the shade of a tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see it, though, the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial and without exception. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. Be that as it may, does time also flow at the same speed for each individual? Now, let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. And please, do not let go of my hand, Master.
I'll be on my way then.
Oh? You usually stay for longer.
Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week?
Next week or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you'd like.
But surely the others would, who want to use it.
None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Oh, do you not believe me?
No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can not to disappoint you.
That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Ah, yes, and Mel, do consider what we were talking about.
Going to university?
Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There is very little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord.
I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me then, I'll see you again.
Our doors are always open.
Farewell. Whether it's in the service of God or the service of the church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, I wouldn't mind attending a university, but I'm not so sure. I'd kind of like to do that, something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what, though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me.
Young sire, young sire, alms for the poor.
This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, he's been outside the church since last week.
Alms.
The way he shakes his head. I can get a glimpse of his forehead underneath his hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless your soul.
Thanks. The Lord. Oh no! Nellie's going to be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses, and it looks like it's going to rain.
Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you had accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church, on Sundays to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by an eminent marquis. Though it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows, they studied at the marquis's estate. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today. And Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. And that he had such a choice is envious, is it not?
Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready?
Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes.
Oh, don't call me young master, please.
I beg your pardon. Can I seem to get my head out of the past? Your order's right here, sir.
Mel had stopped at a jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and a storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled, even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of the piece's of his jewelry said to be on display at the palace. As artistry flourished in this golden age, a number of shops selling luxurious items, such as jewelry, rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised of a very narrow range of people.
May I have a look?
Of course, of course.
Good. It came out just as I hoped. Splendid work.
Can I afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself?
An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it.
Such a kind young lady, young master. A boy back home couldn't do well and learned a thing or two from you. Every man ought to show a woman some cordiality. Coming home to a cold fireplace, sad thing indeed.
Again, please don't call me young master.
No apologies.
I'll take this and be on my way then.
Good day. If you find yourself in need of aught else, let me just know. I can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to me and your sweetheart's day will be sure to get made. And I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her.
Please, I don't have a sweetheart.
Well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls have vying for your hand, too, young Mr. Rose. A fine family, good-looking, charming. And your future's all but... Did I hit there? Oh, you frozen?
I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Good day. Come by anytime.
Goodness. Ah. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patent as my father may be, that would certainly anger him.
Patient.
Thanks. I can hear it now. Wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank, go somewhere far away. That sounds like the kind of plan Nellie would come up with.
As he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, this distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the Flaxenhead family's last name, Rhodes, which you had heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. The mansion looked quite different than it does now, no? No thickets of ivy covering the walls, and no rotten, broken doors to be found. I wonder what the Rhodes family would think if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. On the side of their abundantly blooming roses, a veritable symbol of prosperity, long since withered and turned into soil. My apologies, I got a little sentimental there. Let us forget for a moment about our own time.
I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's...
Dearest Mel, what took you so long? Where have you been? I've been waiting for you forever.
Nelly! You're not in the house!
Nope, you were taking so long I decided to wait by the gate. But you didn't even notice me at all. Is it any way to treat a lady? All that stunning's got your head stuck up in the clouds.
No, it hasn't really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back?
Heavy? I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat, and I love sweets. They maintain my figure for any dress, and you call me heavy.
I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister?
You're such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk, blockhead, weakling.
And obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably threw a fit if I said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nelly? You are the star of today's event.
Fine. They can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what Fata's true motives are. He'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. Ugh, I have no interest in that at all.
Don't be like that, Nelly. They're all here for you. At least enjoy what you can of the party.
I guess. And besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at his dearest Mel. What do you think?
What do I think? About what?
About what? Mel. My new dress, it arrived. I'm wearing it. How could you not notice?
I didn't notice it was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, so...
But this is the dress I had made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And the spell is just lovely. You see how it comes together to form a butterfly?
Oh.
Well, I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. So tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me?
Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she still is still a delightful little girl.
Oh, dearest Mel, I love you.
What? Don't jump on me like that! Ah!
Oh my, you dropped something. And what have we here?
Wait, hold on, no! You can't have that yet!
Is the present?
Give it back! I was going to give you that later.
I knew it! It's for me! And just what could it be?
Hey, don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's going to be mine soon anyway, isn't it? Oh, I love it! A rose necklace! And this design is from the jewelry from the royal family uses. Oh, my dearest Mel. You had this made just for me.
Oh, jeez. It defeats the purpose if you open it before the party.
Happiness is always better sooner rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. There, how does it look?
It looks lovely.
My prince is still the sweetest in all the land.
Don't make such weird noises.
Oh, but why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some rose jewelry to go with her new dress. Understand?
Jeez. I sure don't have it easy playing your prince, Nelly. It might be about time you found a new one.
A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing on the street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're going to have to wait another 10 years.
That's a long time.
Or if you find yourself a new princess.
I'm not so...
You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. But don't worry not. Your double sister will always be your princess. What more could you want?
Are you really allowed to be the judge of that?
I mean more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? That makes me your perfect princess. Hey, what was that laughing it'll be over soon laugh? You always tell me I mean more than anyone to you.
Yes, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister.
Take good care of the necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel.
Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now, back into the house with you. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. Do you know if anyone is here yet?
Nope. I imagine they'll be here soon, though. Were you down at the church again today, Mel?
Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up.
Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there, personally.
Actually, I kind of feel the same way.
What? Really? Why?
Well, you know, I have my reasons.
Hmm. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's keep Mass on Sunday then. We can go play.
No skipping church.
As grew the brother, so too did the sister. That day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw it with your own eyes, so you know just how much she had changed. She was always a cute little girl, but she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well... But a girl like that has her own charms, would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults, but the core of their relationship did not change in the slightest. Nellie was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun began to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. As Nellie had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Rose Manor, right? Okay, we'll go together. Me alone? No, please don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. And I'm sure they don't remember a thing. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition, so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. The servants' first assignment every morning was to clean this room. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to a shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The tabletops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the bakery had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candy fruits were moved over to the side to make room for, of course, the festivities.
Good evening, Lady Nellie. You're looking particularly lovely today.
Nellie, I had these jewels cut just for you.
You let me have this dance, won't you?
What's the matter, Nellie? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. Their apples can dyed in rock sugar, I think.
You disappoint me, dearest Mel.
Eh?
What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming. It never ends. It's drives me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. They all think pretty chills and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon.
But I think that is true for you, Nelly. Though, why she's disappointed with me.
I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year.
They will probably throw an even bigger one next year.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know. You're about that age, Nelly. You are a reasonably distinguished family. Oh, we are a reasonably distinguished family. So there are a number of different houses that would like to have connections with us. So...
So what you're saying is dirt for the family.
No, that's not...
I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their inter-family politics.
Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants you to let you choose yourself. Someone you actually love.
Love? I never thought I would hear you talking about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's play so beautiful. And you're talking about love. You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love? We went all the way out to the Globe Theatre, too.
Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not, Nelly. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby.
Anyone would cry at that. You'd have to be crazy to sleep through it.
That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nelly, would have no problem finding love.
Ah, dearest Mel. We should dance.
Lady Nelly, could I have...
Dance, dearest Mel?
What? Me?
What? Wait a...
Wait a...
And I really like this song.
Quit pulling me, Nelly! What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings! Mother and father are staring daggers at us.
No matter. What day is it today, dearest Mel?
Your birthday.
Exactly, so I can do whatever I want. Now, attend to your princess, as a proper prince should.
Oh, geez. How did I get myself into this?
Nellie's skirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time with the music. She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself being more dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her.
This is humiliating.
Because his parents had been hands-off in raising him, largely giving him free rein to study and learn what he pleased, Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter.
Oh no, dearest Mel. If this is the best you could manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye?
I won't, so it doesn't matter.
Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nellie alone enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It did not matter to her that he moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure. Just as their father was about to give an exaggerated cough and stop the music, a ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance.
Who could that be?
Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared.
The music came to a stop and the party guests began bustling. The sibling's father spoke up sternly of the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate, had the music restarted, and gave a short apology for the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That is not what confused you. Well, your question shall be answered in time. In time. Now, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive actions restored the guests' festive mood in short order. So it was not by any means the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned.
Oh dear, I hear thunder.
It was rather loud, too. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing.
They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence there. The stretches of time which, with clear skies, grew longer than summers approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little spears on the window. Were the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nellie had not got on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short.
Thank goodness, it ended early. How lucky I am. This must be a blessing for always being such a good girl.
I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky.
But it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with the duns.
Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here?
Unbelievable. You don't even remember anything. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mal? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles and he's a huge jerk. His thinning hair looks like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves! Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. And he acts like nothing happened. He even calls me Lady Nellie, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel?
I'm listening. I'm listening. I wonder what that ruckus earlier was.
You weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that?
Sorry, but aren't you curious? It probably wasn't another guest, at least.
Maybe a cat sneaked in.
You think so?
I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel?
Seriously? I'm exhausted, though.
It's not even that late.
Fine. Something feels kind of off. A cat? I want to go check.
Then hurry up.
Hold on! You don't need to drag me, Nellie!
My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me.
Oh, Nellie. The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all the storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nellie was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much trouble falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. But I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here.
The only sound that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house that night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, so he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But where was he supposed to head? Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. If he had anything, it was guidance from above, the path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls, past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled, into another corridor, and then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. The dim glow of the lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver. Shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip.
I can see lights from inside. Is she still awake? A voice.
He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside. But he had reservations about peeping in on another's chambers, even if it is his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, Master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy?
I shouldn't be doing this. But the voice. It feels like it's calling to me? Or someone else?
Yes, me, could sense someone watching me at that moment. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes open wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings, or how great a surprise this was to him. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, Master, it is you. You and...
I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. But I can't look away. Who is that? Her skin, it's so pale, you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow, and her eyes, they're how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for a situation like this.
They look like...
Like blood?
No, that's just disturbing.
Then wine, perhaps?
No, more translucent than that.
Gemstones, then.
Yes, gemstones! Her eyes are like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about?
Mel's eyes were fixed on the peculiar young woman. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were bluish-purple, her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime, her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what may be hidden beneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insuperability, even if she thought herself hideous.
I wonder what happened to her.
Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice rose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There's something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I am sorry about your father. That's not... There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When you came to our rescue, he was already...
Rescue? Father? Was that, perchance, what the commotion was about?
He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more efficiently than words. The white-haired girl could likely sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away.
Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She couldn't have seen me.
The boy did not have the courage to peek in the room for a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber, as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind. Nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart.
Who could she be?
Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force. Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I've not heard of any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. Should I consider that a compliment? It is getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name yet. My name. My name is.
Mm.
Wake up.
Mm.
Get up, Mel.
What? It's morning.
You disappoint me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what was the matter.
I've really been asleep that long.
And Father's still lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son.
I know. But before that...
Yes, dearest Mel?
What are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing in the boys' chamber. Leave that to the servants.
I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time.
That was long ago. Things are different now.
Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead.
Alright, I'm getting up. So you can see yourself out.
Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink last night.
You think so?
You didn't go out on town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy.
I would never! You know that!
He squeaked. I don't think I believe you.
I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly.
Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got it just fine.
Anyway, shoo! I can't get dressed with you in here.
Fine, I'm leaving. Oh, I almost forgot, dearest Mel.
What now?
No need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news.
Oh?
Breakfast, which you missed. Father told us.
Told you what?
Do you really want to say? It sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel.
Please, Nelly.
We get a new maid today. For my house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at social gatherings. But it's not a surprising part.
Does that maid?
She's peculiar. Has a very unusual appearance, that one.
Have white hair.
What? How do you know that, dearest Mel?
Thanks, Nelly.
Hey, get back here! Oh, for goodness sakes, what's getting into him? Bah!
At the time, the majority of servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had abigails, so there were several women servants, myself included. The maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at a house even more powerful than their own. And the white-haired girl Mel saw the night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer.
Oh, I didn't really think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. I'm guessing she's probably Mother's maid. White hair. It has to be that girl from last night. But
Deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen the previous night was truly here to be a servant. And can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess. Hardly what you would envision from a girl of class. But he did not seek her to find out whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more to ascertain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her.
I don't want to run into Mother. That would be awkward.
He was heading towards his mother's bedchamber, but the closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw her, the same girl, that same white hair. She appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden carvings lining the walls, making certain not to miss even a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's abigails. And there were no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. All that had covered her pure white hair and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless ruby eyes.
Pardon me.
Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. She caught Mel's gaze and for a brief moment merely blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel, yes? Your father informed me of you.
Did he? I guess I didn't need to introduce myself then.
I believe she made an attempt to smile, though it was difficult to tell, and she quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met for only the briefest of moments. She seemed to be looking at both someone and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful hair color. Did you have business with the mistress, Lord Mel? I can let her know if you'd like.
No, I was looking for you.
For me? Mel felt as though all the blood in his body had begun to flow backwards. He could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had little trouble speaking with others. He had less experience interacting with women, this is true, but the time he had spent around Nellie had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then.
Yes, for you.
Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel?
I was wondering how you were doing.
Pardon? I'm quite fine.
Good, that's great to hear. You fool, Mel! What are you even saying? You have more important things to ask, like where she came from. Or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. But I don't want to trouble her too much.
Lord Mel?
Yes?
Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent. Was I, in your way?
In my way? No, not at all! Well, what are you up to?
I'm cleaning.
Well, yeah, I didn't even need to ask that. You're cleaning.
Mm.
Uh, mm, you can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is Mother making...
No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy, and I could not simply be idle.
But...
I enjoy cleaning.
Well, if you say so. Say, yesterday.
This mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishings has had a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Did she just change the subject on me?
I'm delighted to have given the opportunity to serve at such a magnificent house.
Huh. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. That's all been around since my grandfather's time. This mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he actually paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the wall were broken.
I can hardly imagine. This is a marvelous, impressive house.
I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear that. My grandfather was a bit of a eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect just to watch the look of surprise on their faces. He was the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a completely new life. Everyone who had seen the property before it was renewed was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent.
Huh?
I was just thinking that you're kind of like this house.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, when you first arrived. Oh, no, never mind, forget it. She'll figure out you were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she?
Yes.
It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable.
Oh.
The truth is, it being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say that all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune.
Mm.
Do you believe it?
I...
I'm just kidding. It's not actually true. It's all rumor and hearsay, embellishing to make the tale more exciting. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we wouldn't still be here. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away?
No. How did he?
Inside a lovely lady.
What?
Believe it or not, that was how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. A rather crude way to go.
But he was hardly misfortunate.
What'd I tell you?
Yes?
Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I am pure of body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so... Hey, she left.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. Anyway, we were talking about the mansion, right? I always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found here after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovations upon renovations gave the mansion new life, but all of his work, he was most fond of the rose garden. He collected species from all across the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete it. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in.
He truly loved roses.
Me, I don't really get how someone could be so impassionate about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls the house Rose Manor.
Perhaps the roses were meant for someone?
What?
I'm simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts, after all.
Indeed, they do. If you like roses as much as Nellie, then you're welcome to go see them yourself. Pick as many as you like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure get tiring if all you do is work.
No, I'm, sensitive to sunlight.
Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you are so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin is so pretty too.
You don't seem terribly surprised.
What? Oh no, I'm very much surprised. Or would you have preferred a more dramatic response?
No, I expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. That makes me sound like some kind of demonic creature. Huh?
Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the world as sweet as you.
Yes?
Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? That black-haired one especially. She's... how should I put it? A little frightening. Almost as if she has a steel heart. Or something. She's, impenetrable. Right. She's one of Master's mother's maids too, isn't she? Now I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth Hellspawn! I can imagine her saying that. Oh, and again.
I'm very sorry.
No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you laughed more.
Mm. She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in the mansion?
Actually, she's been here for some time, but I don't know how long exactly. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy.
I've never once considered her such.
Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, she still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all fake. That doesn't make her any less pretty, though. Ah! The conversation died. I have to think of something else to talk about. Yes! You can ask me anything.
Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I've not seen him around.
Oh, yeah. Father frequently returns home. This mansion is actually our secondary house. Why do you ask, though?
I was just curious, nothing more.
Oh. Um. Yes, what is it?
One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way, if you'll excuse me.
What? Alright. I'll see you later then.
Goodbye.
Alright. One moment! Since you're sensitive to the sun, I can pick some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room.
Lord Mel.
That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again.
Roses are not becoming of me. He is too kind.
You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today.
Now there's something unusual. You not being punctual. Maybe next we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on next year's crops, Mel.
You're
Hyperbolize.
Hyperbolized, Father, thank you.
So, did something nice happen?
Huh?
You look like you're in good spirits.
Do I? No, nothing.
Something did happen, didn't it?
It's all over my face, isn't it?
People prefer an open book to a face of stone.
So it is.
People may prefer it, but it's not a good trait to have for social engagements.
What?
Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyway. I'm sorry. Don't look so dejected. For now, at least, there's nothing wrong with that. So tell me, what has you in such a joyous mood, Mel?
You torment me so, Father. We've taken another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes and things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gotten to me. That's all. Why are you looking at me like that?
No reason, no reason. So, what family does the little lady come from?
Oh, I don't actually know.
You don't know?
I was going to ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home, and I cannot speak to Mother.
I see. She's caught your eye, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has.
But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not?
What? No, I... You truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be going home now.
Mel?
Yes?
Make certain you find out where she's from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you.
Thank you. Excuse me. It doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No! I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. This isn't love, no. It couldn't be. This is me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her.
Young sire, bless young sire, alms for the poor.
It's that same beggar as before. I don't think he's moved since then. But he looks skinnier than last time. He's going to have trouble making it through the summer. I could give him something while I still have the chance.
Alms for the poor. Have mercy.
Sorry, but this is all I have to give you.
Ah, thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire.
Thanks. I feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. The skies are really clear.
The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during the season, but the sun almost always took the stage during the day after a storm. The cathedral, standing tall in the center of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sounds of footsteps, the people peering out from beneath awnings to look up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by the divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the forsaken, even if their time would later come to be referred as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchamber, so she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demands and complaints. And she had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl.
No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The opposite goes by the door. And I don't like this carpet pattern. Is there anything else we can change it with? Hey, who put this ugly face here?
Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though, if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time in history. Women of the Golden Age were vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier or a generation later, she would not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond being childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face.
Get rid of all of it. The carpet, the chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. Don't you have anything better? If you don't, then order it. Have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them.
Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids and furniture and fabric. She chased frantically, scrambling Abigail's with her eyes, and made attempts to help, but not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in their way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture and made their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them.
You hold on a second. You, yes, you, with the white hair.
However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave. What? The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth turned into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the lights of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl.
I wanted to talk to you, actually. But Mother never was one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it.
Trade, you mean for...
Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room, because then I would need some extra hands.
But why?
Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where do you come from? Tell me, what house are you from?
I...
Why can't you tell me? If you took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have a right to know. Do I not? You can't expect me to welcome a girl in my home who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties.
I came from another country.
Another country? What country?
Somewhere very, very far away.
Oh? North of here? East? West? South?
South. It's south of here. I crossed the sea to get here, which is why we've never met before.
How far did you have to travel, then? How many times did the sun rise? How many stormy nights did you face?
Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading ever further north.
So tell me.
Lady Nellie. That is a most wonderful painting.
Just try to brush me off. I won't let her get away that easy. Painting is in my room, so of course it's wonderful.
But that one's especially so. You're both so adorable, you, Lady Nellie, and Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted?
Hmm? Ah, that painting. Goodness, yes, you have a good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? This one was done when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands. I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. But standing there like statues makes for boring painting.
Nellie explained brightly. Having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl, she did a little twirl, stopping to face the portrait. Though many paintings lined the walls of her room, Nellie was most fond of the one with her and her brother. Two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the colors of freshly picked apples. It was like the embodiment of their very happiness. A painting lays its subjects bare, you know, fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on a canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point of view, to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? They are drawn with a brush over an extended stretch of time, unlike photographs which capture a singular moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and the present states of those they depict.
Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him and he would teach me about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes on walks with me, making excuses like, I'm an adult now. But we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose garden.
I see. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upwards as Nellie reminisced. A vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind. And I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see.
Yes, of course I do. Mel's smart and he's studious and he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous because even the royal family makes commissions from their workshop. So you had to have it ordered months in advance. Just for me. He's a prince.
Oh?
He's pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But you know what? Mel is a terrible dancer, and he still hasn't got his feet on the ground yet, and he's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's no one else who would say that about him.
He is quite the gentleman. I assumed women would be drawn to him.
Gentleman? Has you met Mel already?
This morning, briefly.
That reminds me. Mel seemed to know about her too. What do you think about Mel?
As I said, he is a gentleman.
It's not what I mean. I don't think I'll let you get away with putting any funny ideas in his head.
What?
Mel is too trusting. He's pure of heart, so I won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him.
I would never.
So you say, but you actually want to get close to him.
I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nellie. He is a man far beyond my reach.
You aren't planning on doing anything, are you?
Not at all.
And you don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you?
What?
Well, do you?
I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nellie.
And you won't develop any?
I will not. And with that, Nellie gave a wide, satisfied grin. Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels, or how they might feel in the future.
You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd.
Indeed.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family, I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from, or anything about your...
Lady Nellie, I've brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. It's the work of a true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you will find it to your liking as well.
Oh, you're right. That's a Florentine stinch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked the style or if it was imported. Either way, a great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll have to see how the colors go with everything else. We have to finish your darkening quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What a wonderful taste you have, Nellie.
When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nellie's room. As the white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief at having escaped Nellie's inquisition. Or perhaps...
Dearest Mel.
Nellie, I'm back!
Did you eat something you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful.
I'm the same as always. Anyway...
Never mind that, dearest Mel. Take a look at my room. I redecorated today.
So that's what you've been doing, hiding away in the house all day, Nellie.
How is that any different than what you were doing? You were in church all day.
I guess. I will look at your room, I promise, but first, do you know where the new maid is? Now, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't yet had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a family member of the family.
If you have, and I know it.
Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if she were to pass me in the halls and not even knowing who I am, so...
Don't ask me.
What? But you were in the house all day!
Ethan's new mother, so why would I know where she is? So she did help her decorate my room.
You made her help? That's work for men servants. There was no reason to make the maids do it.
Oh, so you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room?
I go into your room all the time, Nelly, and you were in my bedchamber just this morning.
Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dearest Mel, and that is you. Now, unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help.
Oh, Nelly, you ought to be a little more...
A little more what? If you're going to lecture me, I won't hear it.
What am I going to do with you, my little lady?
What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mel. And I'm not going to tell you what she said.
About me? What did she say? Please, Nelly.
She said...
Huh?
She said she has no romantic interest in you.
What? Well, why did that even come up?
Because we're both girls. We talk about things like what kind of boys you like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a sad little boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange, you haven't even met.
I am not! It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never even met doesn't like you. That's all.
If I'm going to make my move, I must do it soon. I don't have much time. The master of the house isn't around, so next in line would be him. That painting.
Perfect time to wrap it up.
Oh, boy.
You were worried we should start like 30, but we should have stopped. You said you were like...
Listen, I thought that section was gonna go longer. I'm so worried.
Luciolas is playing again. That's my favorite. Fuck.
Oh man, that was a lot to intake. That was a lot to
intake, and that was a lot I said. I was not expecting to have this
ADHD poison, but I did love it.
Holy shit.
Oh, so that's where
I
Luciola
love
is
Nelly.
from.
She's such a brat.
I mean, Luciolas
I
is
love her.
literally just really quickly. Luciolas is just French for fireflies.
So, are we gonna talk about our thoughts and stuff?
Yes, we
Absolutely, of course.
Okay, are we doing it in order or are we doing it by vote or whatever?
Beep beep.
Let's just do it in order.
By call-in, I mean.
It's order.
So that'd be Nor first, or would that be Denton?
It'd be Denton.
Alright.
BAC.
Okay, I'm really enjoying the atmosphere and creepy, and one thing I will say, I'm getting the most absolute horrendous vibes of this vile little wretch called Nelly.
Holy shit.
Just absolute Hiyoko.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh, damn.
Great. No chromo. It's all good.
Which is clearly a Brokaw.
We all ignored her.
Nah.
Anyways.
Is that your thing, AC?
And anything more
That-
AC or just
That is all. You can move it to award-winning author Noir
Next
Iblis.
is Noir. Let's go.
Let's hear
I
it.
mean, I don't have a lot of theories yet. It just seems to be there's a lot of stuff going on, but so far it's all set up. I think she might be a vampire, but I'm not sure there's a lot of.
Oh, we don't
sure
even have
there's
a
a
name
lot of
for it. We
evidence for it yet.
It's the albinoism.
I don't
We don't
think
have
she's
any
not
name for
albino.
it.
Except it's not albinism because she has eyebrows and eyelashes.
I mean,
that
yeah,
are
but
different
also
color.
you need to make the design still appealing. So
I mean, then that's just
Yeah,
lying to
how
the
could we
audience.
draw an anime girl
It's
with
not
appealing
lying.
white
It's either
eyebrows?
lying or it's wrong.
Pardon me.
I mean, or it's just stylized.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to have like a
Well,
character,
here's the fun thing, not anything relevant. Like the maid outfits they have for that time period is not like accurate to the time period specifically. So
right.
like some
But-
of it is just like
Artistic
stylized.
license.
Yeah,
I'll
there
get
you
my
go.
thing out later.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bone, your history is.
This isn't history. This is genetics.
No, your history is slightly off. You thought it was Victorian.
I'm talking about. Wait, are you talking about the clothing or the albinism?
Talking about.
I think they had albinos in the in both periods.
Yeah, there's albinos everywhere. They're from.
I feel like we've lost the plot of.
Yeah,
of
we've
the
lost the
point
plot
of
of
it.
it. Anyways.
No, not me.
Anyways, Noir, do you have anything else?
Oh no, nothing in particular. I'm afraid.
Bone, go stupid, go crazy.
Just on the topic of the albinism, I do have all this thoughts. I don't know. It feels weird to like make a stylistic choice about like something that is very visual, but and specific. If you're trying to like draw your own conclusion to something, if you're trying to solve something, but regardless. So in the beginning, it mentioned a crucifixion and mutilation. I'm very curious when that comes back because that will almost certainly come back. Whether it's metaphor or not, I do not know. I have also believed that. So I've come up with a few thoughts of what this is, like immediately, like the moment that it started the intro. So are they? They're possibly either all dead. This is some sort of dream, a hallucination of a mentally declining person, maybe some sort of storybook, like a history. Somebody's being read a history book. But these are just potentials. These are not me calling anything. This little shit girl. I think like the moment like a bit into the relationship they were showing, like these siblings seem weirdly close. I don't know if this is just like a narrative thing, but as it went on, it feels like I don't trust that these characters don't want to keep the bloodline pure. And I was saying this early on, and I was teasing Con a bit. She's like, I don't see it like that, and I'm like, and I sent her the worry frog emote about 3 times.
You did.
Don't worry about you.
Shut up. Alright, at first I thought it was something fine, but after seeing all of this, I'm pretty sure she's about 2 inches close to being yandere with scissors.
Yes. So also, a fun little thing about the reading of the line of the shopkeeper is it just whenever I was like mispronouncing some of the pronunciation, it felt like I was putting on an even thicker accent by accident. And also, I had a bit of nacho in my throat, which was not fun. It was very.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't hard. It was like chewed up,
Shouldn't leave them
but it's
there.
like I could feel it.
So you're used to having hard things in your throat?
Wait, is this related to Fata Morgana?
Just question. I am seeing an infinite load screen on the Twitch.
Just humming.
Yeah, I'm just yeah. I love the song. I love it so much.
So
yeah,
hopefully that's
Is Bone done with his theory?
no.
Or to beat yourself.
no.
I don't want to hear you humming.
I'm done. Don't worry.
Where was I now? Shit. Oh yes, I remember. Also, we might want to start pinging people if their roll is up, because whenever I took Roboot's role as miscellaneous boy,
I told Robu twice, and
There
he didn't say he got up.
There was forewarning.
It's like we are typing both in like 2 different chats, and
we tell you in advance.
Anyway, so whenever I stole it, I just noticed. Oh, there's a lull. Maybe I guess I forgot to say a thing. I guess that must be me. Turns out no, it was Roboot. I didn't.
I looked away for a fucking second.
I will.
It'd be like
I'll be looking ahead for miscellaneous, so I can just send it to Orange to have Orange ping you guys, because like me trying to like look at the chat and look at the screen was like gonna break my fucking neck.
Ouch.
B is narrating a good chunk of these doors.
You
yes.
are doing great, B.
Wait, what do you mean doors?
Well, this is the first door.
It said door one. It said the first door.
When is-
Doors are like main chapters.
Yeah, it said the first door.
Also, on the
I
topic...
assume,
Yeah?
I was just gonna say, I assume that was like the chapters, like Crimson said.
So, assuming... I do not believe that this absurdly white woman is a vampire. I feel like that is very different from the setting that this is currently in. I don't think she's a ghost either.
I don't think Victoria has anything paranormal in it.
I mean, she might be a ghost now. I don't know. But, I don't think she is a ghost in this. I think she's just... Like, it could be albinism, but... I don't know. I don't like the idea of if you're gonna... Like, if you're gonna have albinism, you should probably... do the eyebrows and eyelashes white, too, because that's...
It's just a stylistic choice.
It might not be.
It might not be.
No,
but
it might
we
be.
don't know. Anyway.
I'll be
But you
real
can-
with
you
you.
can't-
I'm gonna be absolutely 100%. It is.
Like, you can't rely on VN sprites for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very specific thing. I feel like if you're going to, like, do
No, like-
albinism...
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, we can talk about. So back in Umineko, Beatrice has sprites where she has the ring and ones where she doesn't have the ring, and it's extremely inconsistent. But if you try to judge anything based on that, you'll just get extremely confused for no reason. You can't rely on the sprites.
I don't know. That seems like something primed to be misled about by accident.
We're not gonna. We don't need to focus too much
You
on this
is
stuff.
true.
Yeah, you don't need
It
to focus
just
on
is. It is okay. Next bit.
Alright, I think that is it.
Alright, Shelly.
Okay. Well, Nelly is clearly obviously a Brocon, and that's okay. But personally, I
Is
think
it?
Mel deserves better.
Better than
Better than what?
Better than
sister,
his
yes.
horrible shit sister?
What are you talking about? His sister is
Better
great.
than his sister, yes.
Shelly, I am in utmost agreement. He does deserve better.
Yeah, because it's his
Pale
sister
girl.
also.
Like I
And
straight
she's
up
already
want-
engaged.
Oh yeah, she's a two-timer.
And she's his blood relative.
Wait, did I miss his part? It's like
The engagement part was not, has not, is not, will has yet to be, or has not at all been mentioned up to this point in time.
Well, she said she said that there was an idea that she might be married off to someone.
I mean, yeah, but
I think
that's-
they are in the. Go ahead.
The party was like, here's a bunch of people you might want to get involved with. I
Big
very much.
selection where women are flaunted about as if they're fucking trophies of gold.
Yeah,
like,
but that
they're
sucks, Don.
They're introducing suitors.
Yeah, so I would assume she's not engaged yet.
She is not engaged, no.
I mean, she's intended to. Well, first off, they definitely don't want her marrying her brother.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably
No
gonna
way!
do that.
Even back then, incest was bad.
Well, sibling incest was bad back then. You could do it with the cousin.
Yeah, it was always cousin on uncle on niece.
Isn't that still a first degree of separation?
Not. It doesn't matter.
They
You
are
need to get
blood
the
relatives. They are distinctly brother and sister.
They are brother and
Literally
sister, thus it
only
would be
a taboo
incest.
because of like worries about creating like horrible like mutated babies, right?
Also, is against the
Have you not seen
They
the
do
Habsburg
not
face?
want the brother to marry the daughter.
Even back then, that was taboo.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah, we
I don't understand the
not
discussion.
go- Let's not go back to Wuthering
Yeah,
Heights.
and
okay?
anyways,
How do you feel
Anyway,
about what
as I
you've
was
seen thus
saying-
far?
I
Go.
was saying that I'm curious about who this pale girl is going to be. I have some theories about that. Like, I don't think she's a vampire because this is Japanese work. I think it's more likely she's some sort of
What?
spirit or ghost or something.
Wait, could you roll that back? You don't think she's a vampire because this is a Japanese work?
I mean, yes, there's vampires in Japanese works, but
You
it's
didn't watch
less likely-
Kizumonogatari?
We just watched Kizumonogatari. There's a ton
Keeping
of
it,
them.
keeping it on topic to the thing in hand, please.
I did not watch that anime, but as I was saying that it's a Japanese work set in the 1600s where they're less likely to be vampires than in like Western works. But
Question, if I may. Because yeah, this is a Japanese work, but it's in so far a Western setting.
I
Yes,
agree.
In the 1600s.
So therefore, there are vampires.
Just you can have your theories about whether or not there are vampires. It doesn't really matter about the setting or like who wrote it. You don't fucking know. Just guess.
Yeah, we're being too off topic. We gotta be like within the concept of the frame of the story.
Anyway, I just want to say that what's really nice about doing this after doing Umineko is that you get to have like a calm period where there's absolutely, or at least barely, any conflict, and then like everything is just chill, which I like.
I don't think Nelly has ever been chilled in any day in her life.
Yeah,
but she's ignorable for now. She might get worse.
she probably will.
She's still rooted in the immaturity of life.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're allowed to be bratty like that when you're 14, especially when you're like a rich lady.
I
all
get
takes
it,
is
but I
one
don't,
bad day.
I don't like how
Yeah,
she's like making redecorate her room just to have maids over. I don't like that.
No,
I don't like it.
it was so that way she could actually talk to the new maid who is only secluded by her mom.
Right. I just don't
Yeah, her
like
mom
having
basically has
making
control over that
working
maid.
class people work for you for no reason. Like
Technically,
I've had a
they're not working
housekeeper
class.
for like 12
It's a
years
role,
now,
man.
and we have a lot of respect for her.
First off, Shelly, they're not working class. They're like upper middle class people, like semi noble people working for them.
You seem like a
Well, I
whisper.
thought in general, like maids were generally like working class.
No, not in this
Am I
case.
just wrong about that?
Not in this case. They're actually like semi noble class people working for more nobler people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, lady in training. That's what they were called, lady in training.
This was
Lady in
stated
waiting,
in
I
the
think,
text.
but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm just saying that it was annoying to me because, you know, I've had a housekeeper for like 12 years, so we respect her a lot. I would definitely not want to put in extra work just for trivialities, you know.
I remember in that time period they don't allow poor people to touch their stuff. That's the reason why they do that.
Right.
Pardon me.
I have to say that like Mel is absolutely the bestest boy right now. I mean,
He's trying.
He's doing his best.
He's got no game though.
He's got no
What'd you
game
expect?
because he doesn't need any. He's rich.
Nerdy boy.
He's a sweet boy. He doesn't need game. His
Yeah, you don't need
awkwardness
it.
will charm his way
Because he's
into
being
that maid's
forced
dress.
because he's being forced to be a teetotaling man of the cloth. Of course he's going to be this way.
Also, I have expected him to, you know, get an arranged bride or something because this is the 1600s, so I don't think he's even trying.
It depends on the context. Sometimes some family members want to give their sons to the priesthood for notoriety.
Anyways,
Especially if they're that type.
Crimson, settle down for a second. Continue,
Anyways,
Shelley.
I don't really have any more theories so far, but I just want to reiterate that it's really nice to like just listen to something where there's not like murder every 5 minutes. Maybe there will start to be murder, but for now it's super chill and I like that.
There's a chance.
Joshi.
Okay.
Oh boy.
What?
Sorry, I have some things that I want to say, right?
I punched Josh in the gut before he started.
Please
I'm
do.
sorry.
Shoot.
So from what I took from the intro crawl, well, first off, I'll start with some the minor things such as, hey, pretty interesting so far. Very trippy and almost dreamlike, I would describe it. Very interesting. I didn't get to write down as much notes because, boy, Mel talked a lot.
I told you I got you lines, boy. I got you lines. No, okay.
Moving on from that, with the opening mentioning crucifixions and such, it made me wonder if perhaps the master that was brought up at the very beginning had sins to answer for or such, and maybe it was sins. The master knows completely nothing. The maid is telling everything there, and prior to starting door 1, we heard children, right? I took note of that. Maid is kind of suspect to me a bit. I don't know why. Getting weird vibes. Not saying necessarily bad vibes, but like vibes that I should, be
concerned about
analyzing her actions and such. Moving on from that book, first door, it takes place during 1603. Um, some heavy Christian overtones. Mel kind of being caught on what he wants to do in life. The sister stuff. I had maybe put up a thought that what if the maid was in the beginning was an amalgamation of all the house's memories, right? Or slash maybe the house itself is a mirage of some sort. Like it doesn't actually like exist, and this is just like some kind of weird trip.
like a sort of sentient consciousness of the house.
Maybe. As in terms of the maid, I can believe that she may be a vampire as well. I can also believe maybe perhaps because she states that she comes from the south. So if this is nondescript European location, that's probably like what? Like in like Central Asia, maybe like somewhere in the Middle East. So maybe there might be roots there.
Wait, sorry. What was the question? Or what was that statement?
I said like she in the story she stated that she was from the south, right? Like very nondescript.
Got
And
you.
since we're in nondescript European location, I'm just going to take the Europe as a whole and say that down south. So like maybe somewhere in the Middle East to like Central Asia.
Joshi, Asia isn't south of Europe.
Yeah. Well, I mean like
That
but
could
I'm
be, like,
talking about the
Italy.
entirety of like Europe though.
Asia's
Also, south of Europe, south of Europe would be Africa.
Let Joshi, please let Joshi finish.
Or Spain.
Fuck. So yeah, perhaps somewhere in there. God.
Sorry, geography is not your best.
Please let Joshi finish.
Please. Fuck. As in terms of like, what I find suspicious is that when Mel brought up, hey, they say ill fortune comes up for whoever stays there. For a moment, it flashes like a window, and you see some like splatter of some kind, right? Not like an actual like spurt, but like some weird splatter. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Right? So like, what does that foretell? Also, additionally, there's some weirdness like going out in the sun, like can't go out the sun because like it not good for her. Again, that could be something else, but that kind of helps with the vampire theory. In terms of like concrete things that I can think of, for one, I do think perhaps the maid at the very beginning, which I'll call her that, the black haired maid. I do believe that she might be supernatural in nature, perhaps. But how much she's probably going to participate in the story, I don't know. I don't know the extent. I'm probably going to take the same stance as I did from Neko and say that there are supernatural elements within the story, but they're not like super hardcore in it with the beginning that we just started.
Just to clarify, that is not a spoiler to the audience. That was his theory. That
yes, I had made it clear that I am taking the same stance that I did while reading through Umaneko, which is there is there might be magical elements, but like I think they're more on the side of being the outside rather than the inside of the story, or at least the events happening. That is pretty much all I wanted to say.
Good, Joshi. Very concise. All right. Next is Roboot, I believe. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I personally had a stupid theory that the white-haired maid might be the maid herself, younger, but I know that's not gonna hold any water in like 2 sessions from now. I believe. I think. or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have any other thoughts. Just Nellie's very funny. He's a funny little creature.
Alrighty then. Colin, would you like to have your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I will admit, Nellie concerns me.
A common sentiment. Yes.
Yeah, not because of her attraction to her brother, but because of her personality and her immaturity as well.
She's 14.
Mm,
Her attraction to her brother, not concerning at all.
I understand that.
Just how you phrased it.
And also, it seems like there was a lot of seed planting here. Like the rose necklace, the idea that anyone who lives in the mansion has just unfortunate, the fact that his grandfather also died in the house, and apparently died like Genghis Khan.
That's not how he died.
It's not?
No.
Then how did Genghis Khan die?
I forget exactly, but it was either like a war wound or an illness.
Damn, I thought he died having sex. Well, there goes that.
That was the implication, that he died having sex, yes.
Damn
it. He moaned as he lived.
Apparently
What?
Hop on.
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Don't worry about it. Get back on topic.
It's also just the fact that it feels like there's something underlying with the maid and the master. Maybe that she isn't a vampire, but maybe an illegitimate child or something?
I'm going with you.
Not decent.
Oh fuck!
Not again.
What?
Nothing.
I just dropped my phone on my face.
Well, she did say that now would be the only time to do something, and that he was next in line. Meaning Mel, so either she's trying to acquire something in the family, or she's trying to get things known about the family. So maybe it's not even that.
I actually
She
interpreted
also
that.
said...
Oh.
Sorry. She also said that Mel and Nellie's father is usually away at their other home. What if he's away doing something involving the affair, or doing something else that involves contained misery for the time for them? It feels like this has just been setting up dominoes so that way they can just go ahead and be falling one after another. It's precise. That being said, I love the pacing of this, I love the backgrounds, I love the sprites, even though they feel kind of uncanny valley, and the whole reference of Romeo and Juliet is hilarious because that's just a satire that Shakespeare wrote.
I remember going to like this it wasn't Romeo and Juliet, I think it was Macbeth when I was a kid and falling asleep during it, so that was like really relatable. And like I would have been way more interested in Macbeth at the time than Romeo and Juliet, being like a 9-year-old.
I guess that makes sense, but Macbeth also has a witch in it too? Also,
Sure.
I'm seeing a
I'm
lot
just
of
saying it's a
Romeo
lot more
in
violent, even though there's a double suicide at the end of Romeo and Juliet.
Remember that STV is watching Con.
I know. I'm just gonna go ahead and agree with Sim when he said that this was like a stealth Umineko sequel.
There are a lot of very similar elements at first, aren't there?
Oh, very.
But there's no direct, I assume.
These are written by entirely different
These are
people.
two different groups, two different people. Ryukishi is nowhere near this.
It is a gothic
countries.
It is a very gothic story. There's
Same
a mansion,
country, actually.
etc., etc.
Oh,
And,
pardon me. Sorry.
I just wanted to say what you said about her like needing to make her move. I actually thought that implied that she wanted to like court Mel or something. I wasn't sure about that, but
Still up in the air on that. I also just think it's hilarious that he actually said that, quote, he died with inside of a woman. Like, I was laughing out loud when he said that.
Very romantic way to die.
Very.
No, and I even put this in the notes. The only way that's unfortunate is if he didn't finish.
I think that's what killed him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the part that killed him. Yeah.
He died in his arms tonight.
So really quickly, Con, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing else except that the music is very nice.
Yes, it is.
I adore the
And-
music of the House of Fata
And as a
Morgana.
side bonus, back on all the pacing and the background art, it's a very somber atmosphere. Even when things are light, it feels like there's something lurking around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It is very well done.
Yes, it's, Fata Morgana's like style and its aesthetic and its atmosphere are all just chef's kiss. I want a million things like this. This is great. But yes, Rindy, what do you want to do? What do you want to say?
Mostly echoing stuff that people already said. I wonder the way it's probably just my rotten mind, but the way she talked about like, oh, the master is the houseway and he's next in line. And I was like, what, she like sent there to do something with them? I don't.
What do you mean rotten mind?
Like because my mind went to seduce, but
Of
probably not. And yeah, other than that, it's stuff that everyone said already. I mean, is she a vampire or not? And I don't know. Nelly's the best. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Incredible vibes. 10 out of
I
10.
thought you would like her, Indy.
There's a
Perfect
perfect
10 out of
role
10.
for her, Rindy. You give her the cutest voice.
I figured that this would be a very funny dynamic.
But yeah, other than that, she's smarter than she seems.
But who?
Nelly is smarter than she seems. And that. I also wonder about the maid and what she said, like, oh, these memories are the house memories, even though I was also there, but this is not my point of view, even though I was also there. It's a bit strange, and I wonder about that.
Oh,
That's mostly it.
Alright,
Sorry to interrupt, but may I add something?
Sure.
I almost forgot to mention the fact that this is actually being told from second person perspective at the beginning is interesting.
Ah, yes, how this is being told, but to you.
You now kind. Protagonist Persona 4.
You are all my masters. How's that feel? No.
See, that's another, like, I wonder if there's, like, if that's, I put it in notes too, but I wonder if the mystery is, like, finding out, is quote unquote finding out who you are.
Alright. If you're good then, Sim, if you want, you're up.
Sure. I don't have a whole lot that people didn't already cover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think the framing is interesting, how it's in second person and it's a story being told specifically to you, the reader.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't know, I'm still leaning towards there being no supernatural stuff. A whole lot hasn't happened yet, it's mostly set up. Other than that, I'm wondering if maybe the one maid is like the spirit of the mansion or something. Like, if there's gonna be supernatural stuff, that's what I think there might be.
I didn't know that this was a Snake Monster House sequel.
And, alright.
Crimson?
So, Crimson, you got anything?
I have something. I kind of do believe that the first person that we saw, the first maid, might be the spirit or the quote unquote witch of the house because of how she's basically doing the narrative and she's also inside the story. I don't know what the story is going to turn into, or there's going to be different variations of it, but it's going to be interesting how the door systems work within the chapter of the series. Also, I've been seeing a lot of seeding in future plot points, especially some things you don't realize until you noticed it, like the old man that's just there after every time he comes from the church. There might be going to be a setup about a future plot point, not a major one, but like a like a symbolism plot point for a future scene because they're just foreshadowing something with that guy in some aspects. You don't realize it now until you notice it.
It's kind of funny. I kind of got Beauty and the Beast vibes from that, where like the enchantress pretends to be like this old hag who asks money from like the rich guy, but instead of denying her,
And then
Mel
when
gives what he has.
yeah, something like that. And then when he eventually breaks it, something bad will happen. That's what I'm assuming is what's going to happen. Either he keeps on going and something okayish happens, or he breaks the chain and something bad happens because he did it. Like some type of foreboding fate because of him not, doing the thing. Also, I don't believe she's a vampire, the white hair maid, because that's a little too weird. Because especially about vampire lore at the time, but it could be something else. Especially because her father died during that time frame, supposedly. It might be something else, something more about bloodline lineage of the other person that she was, quote unquote, hired to be into.
I will say personally, while I was reading it, I think one of the bigger proponents for me thinking, like going into vampires, is because the art style is kind of a little bit reminiscent of like Castlevania stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
I
so.
was thinking more Fire Emblem for some reason.
Really? I mean,
Don't say
Fire
I
Emblem.
you know there's like
Castlevania.
Older Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. You know what? Here I
No,
can.
one.
Hold on a second.
By the way, after Crimson's done, I wanted to get another round. If
Yeah, no,
possible.
go. And then, yeah, now y'all can like free talk and like as long as it keeps
Is
going.
Crimson done?
No,
Uh,
I think I have like one more thing.
Sure.
That sister, I think she's gonna be set up to doing something. I don't know what, but I can just tell that she might be a little murderous at certain point. I don't know how, but I can just feel it off her that she's getting too jealousy.
Oh, now I see it.
Yeah, I definitely see the Castlevania vibes.
The maid or the sister?
The sister.
Yeah.
I said because she has that sort of like mentality of possessiveness of her brother, even if it's not sexual. It's more of a childish, possessive type of personality, and I don't know if it's going to turn murderous or not, especially towards the white maid.
So I guess I'll make my second go here. Unless Crimson says more.
I'm pretty much done for right now.
All right, so I forgot about the part where she mentioned that she came from a southern country until Joshi brought it up. So I kind of took a thought: is that like a metaphor? Is she like kind of doing one of those things where she's like lying, but there's meaning to the lie? You know, that element of truth. Could it be like it? Let's say that she is a undead creature. Could it be like an underworld kind of situation? Although, given that this is a very Christian kind of religion stuff going on, I don't know if the underworld is a particular subject matter. If it's maybe referencing something else, because I feel like she would have like something about her accent would have been known if she's from a southern country. Because like southern country from here, unless assuming it's assuming that she's not African, that would have to be France or Spain, and maybe Germany. Well, Holy Roman Empire. But so I don't believe her when she says she is from a quote unquote southern country, unless she's maybe French. But I don't know. Something about how she said it makes me think that she wasn't telling the truth.
Also, at that time, people learning two languages is kind of hard because you have to actually be taught to do two languages at that time.
Bone, if I may add on to that real quick, she did say South. There's a possibility she is from South, but maybe she didn't specify, like, like what if she's not specifying, like, she's from South. You know what I mean? Well, not like that, but like maybe she came from the Southeast, maybe, or like the Southwest.
In regards to like the south of England, which I believe that's where this takes place, right? She
Takes place somewhere.
Yeah. So
they said Shakespeare. God damn it!
Oh right. Yeah.
They mentioned going to the globe. They did.
Okay, I forgot what names were mentioned. I mean, it's possible. I find that unlikely. I feel like she would have said the East in that case, because at 1600s,
yeah, perhaps
travel. I don't know how far travel into Asia was done. I think it was decent, but in regards to like Central Asia, so like the Kazakhstan kind of steppe area. I doubt that she's referring to like that far east, south. I doubt that she's referring to like Bohemia. I have my doubts about that. I mean, maybe, but
Here's this.
Seems unlikely.
I like to add something about that. It's hard to travel for a long distance over multiple years, so it has to take like a long period of time. That's all I'm gonna say because even when you travel from like one part of the country to another one, it takes like weeks, especially if you're not using the correct sails.
I mean, I don't think there's anything that implied that she didn't take that long. She could
All
be
right.
Italian.
Locational information and such aside, I believe we're good on discussion. I'm not sure how much else you guys can wring out of this.
Pretty
I got
pretty
nothing
good
else to
visual.
say.
Chapters.
So, sorry, I don't mean to. Did I mean to sound rude?
Pretty good visual novel. Enjoying it.
Yeah, like
Curious
the
where it
aesthetic.
goes. I'm going to guess now. It's probably a romance.
Whenever this is over, I want to know the name of this artist.
Oh yeah, sure, I got you.
But I'm not gonna look him up right now.
Of course,
Obviously.
So,
Can I please get the Nelly sprite?
Sure. We can get you one in a bit. Don't worry.
Like an,
You can get the Nelly sprite.
You want the you
doing
want the
a
pouting
face.
one, right? You want the pouting one?
I want like a face that. I want like an iconic face. I want an iconic face.
You know what? It makes sense because Nelly kind of reminds me of you, Randy.
Oh wow, gee, thanks.
wow.
Randy does not remind me of Nelly.
Wow, what was that?
I'm glad everybody
How?
could agree here. Fuck horrendous Nelly. All my homies hate
What are you
horrendous
talking
Nelly.
about? That is incredible. I love her.
So,
Horrendous Nelly.
That's further proof her vibes are horrendous.
so if I could very quickly, we aren't quite gonna be done with the stream yet, because now we can reveal part of the little secret that B has been hiding from most of us.
Secret?
So for those of you who don't know, and some of you who might, B, God bless their soul, provided a while ago asked for a number of pieces of art of what you might consider like a quote unquote stream OC, a character you might want to represent you, and B commissioned pretty much all of the major characters as people's stream OCs.
Oh.
So we're going to be showing off some of those right now on the stream. So here.
Really?
Can
Yes.
I ask you a question?
Sorry, what?
Well, for the record, okay, number one, really quickly, it's just gonna be the people you've seen thus far. So if yours is not up there, just like it's just gonna be like the first like 4 major characters that have sprite work and such attached
Wait, is
to
this
them.
for Fata Morgana?
This is gonna be for Fata Morgana, yeah.
Wait, who was commissioned? Sorry, I think I
B
said that.
commissioned several character portraits based off of the stream OCs that we provided before a
Oh.
while ago. For the like, you may have seen I had like an icon that and like my change into original character. But
Alright.
yeah. So the first one we
that was
got.
connected to me.
So the first one we got is this is B as the maid.
That's nice.
Where?
Mhm. It's up on the stream.
Oh, that's
Look
what
at
she
the
had
stream.
as her image for a
Give me a
while.
sec.
My
I don't
phone
have
is
stream up.
currently on the charger, so I can't
Oh,
look.
I'll
Like this.
screenshot it.
You
Cool.
should probably just. Can you post the file in the Discord?
Sure. Just give me a
That-
second. Here.
Sorry.
You're fine.
fine.
Stop apologizing for things you shouldn't be apologizing for.
Just relax.
It's fine.
Here you go. There. That is the
Wow.
That's the regular
Oh.
version. So then now, of course, we have the white-haired girl.
My other
Also,
OC.
B.
Mm-hmm.
Also B.
Who is
Also B,
also
technically. Yes.
Double B.
For the record, there is no like weird malicious thing behind that. It's literally just casting decisions.
Okay.
Let's just get that out of the way right now. And here, let me I'll pop up the file in there too.
That is legitimately great. That looks like it could be a character unto itself in something.
Who'd you commission for all these?
Various artists.
Do you want to say
this-
who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I will shout them out, and then of course we'll use these arts for our announcements. We'll also be adding them on Twitter. But for this first one, this one is Ryuzi-sama on Twitter. Do not go to their Twitter page because there are obviously there are a lot of spoilers. And yeah, in fact, just avoid these first 2 artists for now.
Or how it's spelled.
Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, so the next one, these
I
ones
can-
are by Azumi-kun, or
I can see
Azumi.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Azumin-kun.
Azumi-kun, yes. I'm sorry. Yours is like astoundingly high resolution. I have to like.
Oh what?
I have to scrunk this down. Just give me a second. All right, here he comes. Here he comes.
Oh, by the way, we
On the
did get a
way.
follower this stream.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much.
Oh hey, there I am.
Lysandra, thank you very much for following. You
You
make
were
us-
behind all this.
So yes, here is Lysander Roth, yeah. So yes, this is Joshy's.
What did they use as a reference?
The stream OC he made.
Stream OC and Fata sprites.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's the stream of?
And then next, really quickly, of course we have oh yeah, that's right. This one's also insanely high resolution.
Oh, real picture of Joshy.
It's Majin Buu.
It's coming. It's coming. What's up, Con? What's up?
Con,
What's up?
what are you gonna say? Are you gonna say
Should
something?
I grab my phone or?
I'll put them in this. I'll put them in the chat in a second. Just give me a sec.
In the chat.
All right, and then
Sorry.
here is Nelly, aka
Yeah, I have an
Rindy.
idea.
Yes.
I have an idea. I'll stream my I'll stream the Twitch
Here,
stream.
don't worry. I'm gonna pop it in here. Just give me a second. All right.
Relax.
Relax.
Why don't we just relax?
Of course, they have their hair covering their eye.
Mm-hmm.
They're a man.
That is a great one. It gives me that what's that one character that always has the smug energy? Sachiko, is that her name?
Do you have the slightest idea how little that now?
I'm trying to remember.
I wish I had access. Can you like take the sprite of mine and like
Baki?
rub it over
Sachiko.
Josh?
No.
Oh, that's Sachiko, yeah.
Do that on your own time.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So these are the only 4 we see for now.
For now.
For now.
Yeah, Sachiko from Idol Master.
And then those are the ones we'll be seeing for now. Gonna post more later.
As the characters are revealed.
As characters are
As the
revealed.
characters
Yes.
are revealed.
Worked for
Holy
me.
shit, this is astoundingly high
Do
quality.
these last 2 have the same artist?
Yes, those are
Yeah.
these are by Azumiko.
I use 3 artists in particular, so
I can't wait for my character to be depicted as like a 40-something-year-old balding like slime man.
oh my god.
It's gonna be Okanobi.
You normally look like
whatever.
Use that one
whatever
Dark
outfit your
Souls
character's
image.
wearing.
He's one Dark Souls
My
character.
Twitter profile, you mean?
Oh jeez.
That or Oganogi.
Dr. Sad?
Is that what he's called? Dr. Sad?
No,
Oh, no, that's
it's
his
actually
character's
named.
character.
The pose of my avatar is actually kind of similar like the one in the actual thing.
Is that what that's called?
Oh no, that's a Dark Souls character.
Do you still want Nelly sprite, or do you just want your
Picture
your
of a-
sprite?
Can't believe B made profile pictures for everybody for the next year.
Pretty much, yeah.
Every
Do I get one?
It's just for the people
gotta
who
step
have
up
like
my
major
game.
roles, I'm afraid.
I'll get one eventually.
He'll get one eventually.
Maybe someday.
Maybe eventually.
for every image that one of us gets, B also commissions another of herself.
So B, which one of you are you gonna use?
Probably the maid. Or what that's vague down to the maid.
Yeah, I knew what you were saying. Yeah, I knew who you meant.
The maid, only known as the maid.
The maid.
Which
Teammate.
also means I'm sorry, AC. We're over.
The divorce is
Been over for a
finalized.
Divorce
Actually,
is
yeah, he
finalized.
switched over to Steins Gate, so yeah, you're good.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he switched.
alright.
He switched.
He broke up with you
Okanobi a while
first.
ago.
Can't believe
Wow.
it.
Yeah, I did the power move.
Shut up, bitch. Actually, you know what? Taking my art back. AC gets none.
Damn.
Just question, I forget. Do I have a major character or not? Because I'm very curious what a skeleton would look like.
I'm afraid you do not. I'm afraid you do not get
Damn,
any
no
art.
commission for the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that even if I don't have a character in Fata, it'd be really cool to get like in a Makasa, like something commissioned. But I guess I could do that myself.
Joshy, that was quick.
I like it. Fucking, I'm getting my haircut. And I'm probably gonna have this hairstyle by the end of that day.
There you go.
That's a good hairstyle.
So yeah, I kind of actually just based it off myself. So
Because I'll take back
I
your.
also appreciate the commission of art of something related to me.
Yes.
Me too.
It's fun.
Everybody say thank you to B at some point because they spent a
thank you, B.
lot of money.
Thank you to be at some point.
I can imagine.
Thank you, V, at some point.
Thank you.
Wait, why did we do this for Umineko?
Because she didn't want to
lot-
spend money.
That's so many more fucking characters.
Yeah.
It's true, man.
Fata has an
There are-
incredibly tight
there-
cast.
There are so
I mean, you
many
could always
characters.
spend the money yourself to have it done. There's
Yeah.
no reason
You
you
be
can't
our
commission
budget.
it.
Thousands upon thousands of
Yeah,
dollars
I
on Umineko
like knowing the seeing the quality of these images. I'd only be able to commission one per month,
once per month.
and also the idea never came up in my head.
All right, we're like 45 minutes over. Thank you all very much for coming. See you on Sunday for more of The First Door.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye.